is C-spine calves. We're working into the cervical spine, the top part of our neck today. So I want you to take a nice natural stance. Draw your arms across your chest, creating fists and tension. Breathing in, pack the air down into the abdomen. We're going to draw our chin to our chest. Pull it across to one shoulder, looking at one side of the room. Then draw a nice big circle up and around, looking towards the ceiling. Chin to the other side of the room, connect it to the shoulder and draw it back down. That's 1 rep. We're going to do 4 reps in this direction without moving our shoulders, our hips. The only part we want to be moving is that top part of the spine. No arching of the back. Make sure you've got a nice strong stance. Keeping that tension from the fists into the arms against the chest, and have the whole body irradiating, just isolating the top part of our neck. Connect the chin right down across the chest, pulling it, opposing that direction, up and over the shoulder, creating a nice big circle. Taking it down, we're going to change direction here. Chin goes to the other shoulder, looking across the wall, all the way up and over the ceiling, to the other side of the room, and down. We've got 3 more reps in this direction. Keep exploring the space of the circle. Really push into all the edges of the circle. Connect to the shoulder, up and around. Keep the tension going. Nice shallow breaths here. Take it down, and 1 more rep in this direction. Really push that neck around. Up and over. Draw the chin down and finish. That is your C-spine calves routine. T-spine calves, we're focusing on the thoracic spine, the upper half of our back. Nice natural position, arms across the chest. Inhale. Take the breath down into the abdomen, packing it down. You're going to bend just the top half over. So notice how the ribs are separate from the pelvis. The pelvis stays nice and natural, and it is the top half of the back that is curling over. Chin to chest. Take the shoulders to one side. Bring the shoulders up and around, keeping the chin to that chest. Pulling the shoulders around to face the other wall and back down and around. So you want to try and get this twist here without moving your hips. Then opening up, separating the ribs from the pelvis, curling it back down and over, and rotating the thoracic spine around. Nice and slow, lots of tension against that chest, hips very still, chin stays down, shoulders meet the wall, and coming back down and around. 1 more rep in this direction. Really pull that front shoulder around, up and over, taking it back down and around. We're going to go the other way here. So pulling that front shoulder as far around as you can before you take the circle up and over. Back down, connect those shoulders to the side and bring them around. Keep that chin down. Shallow breaths here. Tension through the fists against the chest while you're doing this joint circle. Pulling it around, trying to make it bigger each time. Shoulders across. Up and around, separate from the pelvis, pulling them back down and across. 1 more rep in this direction. Lots of tension, nice and slow. Expand that circle and down. That is your T-spine calves. Shoulder calves, so we're focusing on the shoulder capsule here. I want you to take a nice deep breath in. Pack the air down into the abdomen, tense the fist next to you, externally rotate one hand. Think about the pinky drawing up and across the midline, trying to create a nice big circle here. Around this point, you might start to feel like you can't rotate anymore. Pull it up and start internally rotating, so turn the whole hand and arm away. You can put your hand on your opposite hip to assess whether you're compensating and moving those hips around. Keep internally rotating and twisting that arm down. So now my thumb is towards the back part of my room and the back of my hand is facing my side. We're going to change direction here. Push that thumb up towards the ceiling. When you can't keep rotating anymore, turn that arm around. Keep the shoulder in its socket, just moving the hand around the circle. No leaning to the side. We want to just be moving the shoulder in its joint. Keep twisting that hand across the midline and back down towards the side. I'm going to turn to the side of the room so you can see from here. I open up my pinky leads first. I get to a point where I need to start twisting my shoulder in its joint. I'm not leaving any room and leaning to the side for me to compensate. I'm really forcing the shoulder in its joint to rotate. You may start to feel some clicks. Just breathing through, keeping the body nice and still, internally rotating that hand. Back of the hand reaches the side. I push the thumb up, trying to keep that arm behind me as long as possible until I need to rotate the shoulder, bring it up towards the ear, nice and high. Keep rotating, bringing that thumb back down to the floor, opening that shoulder up and down. I'll face the back so you can see from here how I draw my arm across my body. Then I need to start rotating my hand around and my shoulder in its joint. I try and get as close as possible to my ear. Keep rotating here. This is where you want to twist your wrist, your thumb, all of your shoulder in and across the body and back down. So you're in end range, internal rotation here. I bring that internally rotated shoulder up. I start to externally rotate, opening up the arm in the shoulder joint. Get to the top, reach the ear, keep rotating. I'm now trying to reach my end range external rotation. So really feel that shoulder rotating. Now let's change hands, shake it out. Take the shoulders back. Take a nice deep breath in. Pack the air down. You can put the arm across on the hip if you would like. Rotate that arm around. Pinky goes up. Shoulder starts to internally rotate. I twist the light bulb at the top. I turn the hand around. Now I want to bring it as close to my midline at the back as possible. Keep rotating, keep rotating. Keep that body nice and still. Shallow breaths. Tension through the rest of the body, arm either on the hip or in a fist next to you. Rotate that hand up and around. Feel that end range in the shoulder joint. Keep pushing it as much as possible. Deep breath, we go for another rep. Up and around, try and get to a further point each time before you need to rotate. Pulling that thumb towards the back, keep rotating the shoulder. Breathing through, we're going to take it back again, up and over, trying to keep those shoulders still, the hips still, just moving the working shoulder. Open up, and back down to the side. Again, I'm going to think about all the rotation happening from my shoulder joint outwards. I'm using my fist by my side to create more tension here. Really telling the surrounding muscles to activate and work in this rotation, helping me get to my end range. Opening up that shoulder again, pull towards the ear. Twist as much as you can. I'm externally rotating my shoulder. Thumb goes down to the floor and to the side. That is your shoulder cars. Spinal cars. So we're going to find a position on the floor on our hands and knees, creating right angles from our wrist to our shoulder, hips to our knees. I want you to start in a fully flexed cat position. So chin under, pelvis under, back up to the roof. We're going to unfurl the spine one vertebrae at a time from the base of our spine all the way through to the mid-spine, through the thoracic, up towards the neck, and the head coming up is the very last thing. Again, starting the rotation from the base of the spine, tuck the pelvis under. Imagine someone is pressing each vertebrae one by one to separate them all as you flex. Again, starting base of the spine, one by one, trying to separate not only the lumbar and the thoracic and the cervical spine, but each vertebrae, one by one, slowly coming in, dropping the head down, and back to the starting point again, from the base of the spine, Try and pull further towards the floor as you come into this position. And as you pull back, again, pulling right up towards the roof and the head comes down. So each rep you do, trying to push further into flexion and extension, making sure you're still creating a lot of tension through the hands, up through the shoulders. The body is using a lot of force to pull and push into these positions, separating the bones one by one each time. Try and get that nice wave through your spine. You want to visualize the ability of each part of your vertebrae having the range of motion to flex and extend independently. So making that nice wave, last one, pulling up to the roof. That is your spinal calves. Hip calves in a tabletop position. So we're going to find ourselves on the floor, hands and knees down, right angles between the shoulder and the hip, and down through the knee. Take a nice deep breath in. Pack the air down, bring one knee up, pulling it towards the chest, nice and slowly through the tension. Now taking it out, away from the body, keeping that external rotation until you can't. Now internally rotate the hip and the joint, take it to the back of the room, pull it down, knee to knee. Now we're going to push the heel backwards without arching our back, bringing it as high as we can, draw the circle around, not lifting that hip. Keep the rest of the body nice and still. Pull it in front and back down. That's one full rep. We're going to go again. Pull the knee forward, taking it away. Feel the rotation within the hip joint, all the way back, around, knee to knee. Nice and slow. Keep the tension through the arms, through the rest of the body. Pull that leg away from you. Bring it right up as close as you can to your chest and back, knee to knee. And again, try and draw the circle bigger each time, lifting that knee around as high as you can without moving the rest of your body. Visualize the bone in the hip joint rotating all the way around, bringing it up and taking it to end range, pulling forward, rotating in that hip joint, pushing around the edges of the circle as far as you can, pushing back, bringing it up, lift that knee, rotate it in the hip, and back down, knee to knee. Now we're going to switch legs. So I'm just changing direction to show you. You're going to lift up your other knee and do the exact same thing. Pull towards the chest as much as you can, pull away to the side as far as you can, rotate that hip around and pull knee to knee. Push back with the heel, lift that knee up, imagine the joint in the hip rotating, pull to the front and back down. Really focus on your breathing, helping you create the tension, which is activating the surrounding muscles and helping you work into this range of motion. Keep that rotation going. Pull that knee forward, back down. Try not to curl the back as you're bringing it in or arch the back as you take the knee backwards. Just keeping an eye on the rest of your body. Really isolate that hip joint. It should feel like hard work pushing through the tension. So remember to actively tense the muscles rather than passively moving through this joint circle. Force that leg around, push into that hip rotation, knee to knee. That is your hip calves. Ankle calves. So we're going to find a position on the floor, legs stretched out in front of you. Take one leg, same arm as leg hooks underneath, attaches onto the opposite arm, and that hand blocks the shin bone from movement. Take a deep breath in, pack it down, and begin the ankle rotation. Making sure you're tense through your hands against your leg, against your arms, down through the body. You should feel like your ankle is moving through molasses, really dense air around. Trying to draw the biggest circle you can each rep, getting a wider angle on all parts of the circle. Let's change the direction now. Back, around. Try not to move that shin bone. Keeping everything nice and still. Really use the hand to stop the movement and isolate it to the ankle. Slowly, with lots of tension. You'll probably be clicking as well in this one. Just take it nice and slow And let's switch to the other side. Same arm as leg, hooks underneath, attaches on, hand on the front. Breathe in, pack the air down, flex the foot up and begin to find that circle. Nice shallow breathing. Keep that radiation around the body switched on. Pushing that ankle all the way around, all the way down. Find the corner, up to the side, all the way around the top and back around that circle. Really digging in, change direction, back around. Keep breathing through, pushing it bigger each time. Carving out that circle. Last circle, the biggest one yet, all the way down and around and back up. That's your ankle cars.